Good morning, everybody. My name's Pete Williams, and for those of you who don't know Dave Jennings over there, welcome to the Small Business Internet Marketing Workshop today. We're going to cover a lot of ground, but before we do, I just want to share with you a story about two kids from Boston, Massachusetts. One young kid's name's Billy, and the other young kid, his name is Johnny. Billy's one of those kids who's, no matter what's going on in his life, he's always sad. Just no matter what's happening, he's always disappointed and grumpy and sad. Whereas Johnny, on the other hand, is one of those real bubbly kids. You know, the kids you just love hanging out with. You know, the 3-year-olds, no matter what's going on, is always happy and running around and smiling. And a couple of scientists or researchers at one of the prestigious universities in Massachusetts recently decided to run a study on these two young kids to sort of get an idea of what's causing their happiness and their sadness and trying to get an idea of what's happening. So what they did, they took the two kids into one of the lecture halls at the university over there in Massachusetts and actually decided to see if their environment would actually change the way they actually were in their attitudes. So they took Billy, the first little kid, and said, okay, Billy, let's go down the hall and we'll go into this room. And in this room is going to be amazing toys. So they took him down there and opened it up. There was red racing cars, there was little water pistols, there was Xboxes and Wiis and every toy you can imagine, basically the entire Christmas list. So they said, Billy, half an hour to an hour, go and play, do what you need to do, we'll just come back with you and check in an hour. So they left him there and grabbed Johnny, the happy, bubbly kid, and said, the exact same thing. We'll take you down to the other end of the hall and put you in a different room. And that room was full of horse manure. Nothing but horse manure. There you go, Johnny. Got an hour. Have some fun in a bunch of horse manure. So an hour went by, and throughout the hour, the scientists are looking through those, reverse mirrors and all that sort of stuff that you see on the sci-fi TV shows. And just sort of, and here's Billy for the whole hour, plays with one toy, starts crying. Plays with another toy, throws it and breaks it. So, after about half an hour, they said, no, look, we can't wait the whole hour. This is just very strange. So they opened the door and went in and, sat down with Billy and said, Billy, what's going on? You seem to be upset. When you first come in here, you smiled because you were excited about all these toys, and now you're crying and sad. And every single toy had a problem. The red fire engine wasn't red enough. The water pistol didn't shoot far enough. Every single toy had a problem. So they sort of sat there and scratched their heads and went, this is a bit strange. Obviously, there's something a bit deeper here and we'll worry about later. And so they went down the hall and thought, well, half an hour enough in a room of horse manure was enough for one little 3-year-old. So they went in there just to see what happened there, and they opened the door and walked in. And there's Billy throwing the manure everywhere, having an absolute ball. It's, the manure's hitting the fan. It's, all over the place. And they sort of turned around, scratched their heads again, and were as perplexed as they were when they saw Billy. Okay, Johnny, come here for a sec, buddy, and what's going on? And he's like wiping the manure off his face and having a great time. So, what's going on here, man? And he's like, having fun like you told me to. What do you mean? They're like, okay, that's great, but you're in a room full of horse manure. Like, how can you be having fun? And he turned to them with the look of just, you idiots. And he said, with all this in here, there's got to be a pony someplace. So I guess what we're trying to say with that story is that throughout today's session, and even through life, just always look for the pony. So as Dave said earlier, at the end of the day, we want to hear some of the pony moments you've had. So look through today and always try and find that pony, because I guarantee that for every one of you in your business, there's going to be at least 2 or 3 ponies today that you can go home and ride. So.